everyone, I'm Kat. I'm a coach and co-owner at Session in Brooklyn. This is Trainer of the Month Club with Well+Good. Today I have a quick lower body strength workout for you. It's 4 movements, 2 sets. We're gonna be working for 30 seconds on, 15 seconds to rest. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna start with a nice quick warm up just to fire up our glutes and our core before we get into our lower body movement. So we're gonna start with a reverse lunge to overhead reach. Starting at the top of your space, you're gonna step it back into that reverse lunge, 2 90-degree angles with both knees, holding it here in this nice iso hold. Then with that opposite arm to that front leg, you're gonna reach over to the side. Nice side body stretch, opening up in that hip. Bring it back up, and then you're gonna switch. We'll just flow through this a couple times on each side. Breaking down that movement, we step it back, nice, strong lunge, and then you add in that reach. Let's go one more each side. Last one. All right, we're gonna take it to hamstring scoops now, firing up the backs of our legs. We're gonna step one foot in front of the other. We hinge in the hips, back knee bends, we scoop. Come all the way up, take a couple steps in between, shake out those arms, relax those shoulders, and then you switch. Making sure that front foot stays flexed so you really feel that stretch going from the backs of those calves all the way through to those hamstrings. We'll go one more each side. Last one. Awesome. We're gonna take it down to the ground now, firing up our core and our glutes. So we're gonna go ahead and start with glute bridges. Hips are down towards that ground, heels are digging into the ground, fingertips are barely grazing your heels. You can have palms down into the ground, elbows in the ground, or arms straight up. Here we go, send the hips up, squeeze the glutes at the top, inhale on that lower, exhale, bring the hips back up to squeeze. We're here for 8, 7, 6, I like an added challenge, so I'm keeping my arms up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hips all the way down. We'll bring the knees into a tabletop position here, making sure we're not crunching the knees in too close. Keep them here so you really feel that core activation. Arms are straight up towards that ceiling. We're gonna kick that left leg out in front, making sure that foot stays flexed. Right arm reaches overhead. We pull it all back in, and then we switch. So working on mastering that coordination here, really firing up our posterior chain, making sure that low back stays pressed into that ground every time we extend. We got 2 more each side. Last 2, and last 1. All right, hug those knees into your chest, give your low back a nice little release, and then we'll rock ourselves forward and up to stand, and we'll get into our first set. We've got 4 movements. We're gonna go through this set twice. So you're gonna be at each exercise 2 times, 30 seconds on, 15 seconds to rest. Let's get started. Our first movement, we've got good morning. So practicing that hinge movement here. Hands start on the back of our head. Soft bend in those knees, feet are hips width distance apart. We're there in 2 and 1. Let's send the hips back. On that inhale, nice flat back, upper back stays engaged. Use that exhale to come up to stand, squeeze the glutes at the top. Feel how this is different from a squat. We're not sitting down on that chair behind us. We're literally just sending those hips straight back. Don't let that upper back round forward. And we're focusing on slow and controlled movement here, not rushing through this. This is strength day. We're there in 3, 2, and 1. All right, moving on to that second movement, we've got a squat to a squat jump. So we'll load up in a squat, come up, then back to the squat, and then up and jump. All right? We're there in 3, 2, and 1. Sitting down on that imaginary chair behind us, knees stay tracking over middle toes. We use an exhale to squeeze our glutes up to stand. Then we load up, go for that squat jump, go for height. Land softly in those heels. If you're not jumping today, bring it up to the toes. Add that little bit of explosiveness there. So we squat, and then we jump or up to those toes. Almost there, 1 more rep. For 3, 2, and 1. All right, third movement, we've got a reverse lunge with a core rotation. Think about what we did with that warm-up, but now we're adding some core work here. Stepping at the front of our space. We set up, we're there in 2, and 1. 1 foot steps back, 2 90-degree angles with both knees. We rotate over that front leg. Notice how my legs are staying exactly where they are in that strong iso lunge hold. Woo, so we're getting into our obliques as we add in that rotation, and we're pushing through the heel of that front foot here in this lunge. And don't forget to breathe. One more on this side, 2, and 1. All right, our last movement, we've got a side plank clamshell. So laying on our side, set up as we're going for a side plank, bend the knees 90 degrees, and then we send the hips up off the ground. Everything is stacked on top of each other. We're here, we're gonna clamshell those legs. Here we go. So not letting your weight pour behind you, opening and closing with control. You should feel that on that outer glute, outer hip. And we're just holding it here. Our next time through, we're gonna switch to that other side. If this is a lot for you to be up in the side plank, go ahead and drop the hips down. Focus on that clamshell, keeping those obliques engaged. Last 2 and 1. All right, we are back to the top, starting with those good mornings. If you're feeling good in this movement, you can take a weight, add it in between your legs, turn that one into a deadlift. We're there in 3, 2, and 1. Hands are on the back of our head. We hinge, soft bend in those knees, squeeze the glutes at the top. And notice how, as I bring my hips back up, I'm not thrusting forward and getting into that low back. We wanna make sure we stay here at that starting position. Feeling that nice stretch in those hamstrings. A few more reps here, slow and controlled. Let's get one more in here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, back to that squat to squat jump. Let's get some height. Let's get some power in that squat, whether you're coming up to your toes or if you're jumping. We're there in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Let's get some height on that squat jump, or get some power if you're taking it to that calf raise up to the toes. And a reminder, those knees always stay tracking over those middle toes in that squat, and we are driving through those heels. Those heels do not lift up off the ground. Nearly there, 10 more seconds. Let's get one more in. 3, 2, and 1. All right, 2 more movements, then we get a little bit of a longer rest. We've got that reverse lunge to that rotation. Check out those legs, do what you gotta do. And we step at the front of our space. We're there in 2 and 1, let's go. Really focusing on that form in that iso lunge hold here. 2 90-degree angles. Nothing rotates except that upper body. Feel that firing up in your core. Last rep. I lied, this one's your last rep. 3, 2, and 1. All right, last one. Side plank clamshell on that other side now. Set up in that side plank, elbow is stacked underneath that shoulder, bend at the knees, hips come up. We're there in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. We open and we close. Added challenge here. Lift that foot up off the other foot and bring it back down. Woo, staying in that side plank. Keep that bottom part of your side nice and lifted. Remember, you always have that option to take it down here. Focus on that clamshell. Breathe through it. For 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, everyone. We're moving into that second set. So we have 4 movements again, 30 on, 15 off. Again, a reminder, we're moving nice and slow and controlled. Focus on that form. We're not going higher rep volume, we're going for quality of reps, all right? So our 4 movements, we've got a single leg glute bridge, then we've got a low side to side lunge, a kneel to a squat, and then body weight slams. Think like you're slamming a med ball or like a skier. Nice, fast, explosive hinge there. All right, so we'll get into it. We'll start on our backs. We're there with that single leg glute bridge in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Just like what we did in that warm-up, now one leg is lifted. So really firing it up that other glute. Palms can be in the ground for support, elbows in the ground, or added challenge, arms come straight up. Drive through that heel, send the hips up. And exhale at the top. 2 and 1. All right, we are moving into that low side to side lunge, getting into our abductor muscles here. Step your feet out nice and wide, and we're gonna stay low, just going side to side. We're there in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, staying low. All 10 toes are facing forward here. And I'm not moving fast at all. Keeping it controlled. If this is a lot for you to stay low, take it up and then alternate to that side. But a reminder, this one is a push. So we are exhaling every time we push ourselves from one side to the other. If you're staying low, stay with me here for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, for our third movement, we've got a kneel to a squat. So we're gonna start kneeling first, and we're gonna step one at a time into a low squat, then back to that kneel. Here we go, in 2 and 1. So step it up, see how I'm in this low squat, then I step it back down on the knee, then back down. Then I switch directions, up and up. So working on this shift of weight, but trying to keep it a nice, even squat here at the bottom. So both weight is in those heels. You always have that option too, if you've got weights or you wanna carry something a little heavier, carry it here goblet style at the center of your body. One more here, and rest. All right, we've got body weight slams. Think just like that good morning, but now we're gonna add a little bit of power. We reach up, and then we hinge, slam, those arms come past those hips. Think you're doing like a med ball slam. We're there in 2 and 1, let's go. Coming up to the toes if you want to add a little bit more into that power, and then we stick that landing at the bottom. We slam those heels into that ground. Pretend like you're skiing and you've got 2 poles in those hands. Last 5, 2 and 1. Had to get that last rep in. All right, one more time through, starting with that single leg glute bridge on the other side now. So my right leg is lifting, driving through my left leg. We're there in 2 and 1. Remember those arm variations I gave you? However you need to support yourself. The focus of this one is not that leg that is floated up. Don't think you have to lock it out and make it super straight and fancy and pretty. We're working on that leg that is doing that bridge. Awesome, almost there. 2 and 1. All right, and in that low side to side lunge. Feet are nice and wide. We're there in 2 and 1, here we go. Hands can be wherever feel comfortable. I know a lot of people feel awkward here. You can do a prayer, hands on hips. Just making sure you're not rounding forward here. So hips are coming straight back like you're sitting down on that imaginary chair behind you. Reminder, if you're staying low, you can stay here or you can take it alternating, coming back up. A few more reps, slow and controlled. Knees stay tracking over that middle toe, and last 1. All right, 2 more movements. We've got that kneel to squat. If you're using a weight or some piece of equipment, grab that again. Let's challenge ourselves. All right, we start in that kneeling position. We're there in 2, 1. Let's move. I like to keep that back toe tucked as well to help me push back up into that opposite leg. Weight is in those heels. Don't let those heels lift up. One more each side. Last one. Woo! Glutes, quads, all the things. All right, we've got that last round of body weight slams. Let's make it powerful. Move with that breath. We exhale at the bottom. All right, shake it out. Get ready. 2 and 1, let's go. So we're hinging at those hips. Remember those good mornings we did in that first round? Think that, not a squat. Core stays locked in. Use that exhale. I'm a firm believer in breathing with that movement. Woo, almost there. If you wanna spice it up, add a little hop. For the last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome job, everyone. Just take a second, catch your breath. We really worked our lower body here today. Let's go ahead and just take a quick little cool down just to stretch it out. Let's get into your hamstrings first. So, just like we did with those hamstring scoops, but we're gonna hold it static. One foot in front of the other, we hinge at the hips, reach for that shin, that front toe, and just breathe. Try not to let the hip hike up. Keep the hips back. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out, other side. We hinge and hold, keep that front foot flexed. And breathe. For 3, 2, and 1. We'll take into a quad stretch now, just standing here, grabbing onto the ankle or the top of that foot. You can send that opposite arm up to help here with some balance, or keep your hand here on your stomach so you're not flaring open in the rib cage. Keep it all tucked here. If you're up here and you want a little bit more of a hip opener, lean it forward, soft bend in that standing leg. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Same idea. You can raise that top arm again. Hinge it forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, shake it out. 1 big breath all together. Sweep those arms up. And exhale, windmill them down. Big shoulder shrug. Shake out those legs. And you are all finished. Again, my name is Kat. This was your quick and spicy lower body workout. This is Trainer of the Month Club with Well+Good. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe below.